sweet corn, courgettes, peas and beans all together in one plot, or in one patch. The reason we do this is that both sweet corn and courgettes, they're very heavy feeders. They need an awful lot of nitrogen, or they take a lot of nitrogen out of the soil. Peas and beans, however, they actually put nitrogen back into the soil. So hopefully, by combining those 3 or 4 plants within one area, they're actually going to help each other. So we're going to plant the corn. It's always best to plant the corn in blocks, so either in a square or rectangle, because they are self-pollinated. If you plant them in rows, they're not going to pollinate and you're not actually going to get any corn. Also, if you have different varieties of sweet corn that you're going to plant, then please leave quite a big gap, a good 2 or 3 feet in between. Otherwise what you're going to get is some very weird corn, because they're going to cross-pollinate. It might be fine, I don't know, I've never tried it. So try and plant your corn separately if you're doing more than one variety. So what we've got is, we have our corn. As you can see, it is very, very pot bound now. I should have planted these again a few weeks ago, but I have just been absolutely inundated with so many things, and I've just got to get them into the ground now. So they need to go in. And then we have our courgettes, which we're going to pop in as well. As you can see, they are well and truly pot bound. Well, they're not pot bound, but they're ready to go in as well. So we're going to plant those. And then I've actually got some peas and beans. I've got some already as seedlings, and then I've got some bean and pea seeds to go in. And then hopefully they will wind themselves around the corn, so they will act as a support for the peas and beans, and they will put that nitrogen in as the corn and the courgette takes it out. Also, the courgettes are pretty good at ground cover, so they will hopefully suppress the weeds and keep the soil nice and moist for the corn. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get corn. As you can see, it's very very pot bound. I'm hoping that they'll be okay. They should have gone in a couple of weeks ago, but they'll be okay. I'm sure they'll survive. So then we need to dig a hole. So nice hole dug for it. Pop it in. I actually bury it a little bit, but don't bury it too deep. But bury it down like so. And again, just very carefully firm around. And there's your first one in. And then you need to do it about a foot apart. I always use my spade because it's round about 12 inches, which is, I think, about a foot. I'm not very good with maths, but I think that's right. And then we're going to pop the second one in. So dig your hole and carefully take your corn out of its pot. Remove any weeds. And again, pop it in and cover it over. Now, these ones here are an Italian corn that I bought seeds, or corn seeds, from Florence when I was on holiday last year. So I'll pop them in, although, as I say, please only plant the same varieties together. So I'm going to get on with that, and then I'll come back to you and I will show you how we interplant our courgettes. Right, so we've got our corn in, and now we're going to interplant with the courgettes. I have got 4 corn here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I like to put the courgette in the centre of the 4. So placing it like this. Courgettes do take up a lot of room. You can buy bush courgettes, but most of them will take up a good bit of room, so you need to make sure they've got plenty of room. So I think putting it in between the 4 corns will give it plenty of space. So very carefully take it out of its pot. As you can see, this one has got some baby courgettes already, if you can see those, and then you, with the flower on the end, and then you can see ones that haven't got the courgette. They're the male and these are the female, so the female's flowers were the ones that will produce the courgette. Okay, so we need to dig a nice hole, just big enough to take the courgette as it was in the pot, and then pop the courgette in, and very carefully, it needs to be a little bit deeper. Pop the courgette in, being very careful not to knock any flowers or developing veg rather, off. And then very carefully cover it over, firm it in, and put your label on. And hopefully that will spread itself out around the sweet corn, covering the ground, keeping the moisture in, and suppressing some weeds. And we'll get some nice courgettes in between. Right, so what I'm going to do is I can carry on doing that, and then I will come back to you and we'll talk about how we plant the peas and beans. Hi! Right, welcome back. As you can see, I've now planted the sweet corn a foot apart, both ways. Here I've got pretty much a square, and then in between you can probably see we've planted the courgettes, and now I'm going to plant some peas and bean seeds around the sweet corn, because then they will actually grow up and they will actually feed nitrogen actually back into the ground, because remember, the corn and the courgettes are very, very heavy nitrogen feeders. So if I just come a bit closer now and I'll show you how easy it is to actually plant. Okay, the first thing we're going to put in is these dwarf beans. They are speedy beans. I've grown these for a few years. They are brilliant. They don't grow very big, but they're excellent for growing around the corn. So we'll plant those. As you can see, they are, you know, pretty small little beans, but they are very tasty. So we'll plant those, and then we're also going to plant some mange tout, which are delicious in salads, but they're also really nice cooked, you know, boiled. So again, they're just dried peas. So we're going to pop both of those in around the corn, and hopefully they will grow around them and give us lots of nitrogen into the ground and give us some tasty veg as well. Okay, so we've planted up, as I say, our corn and our courgettes, and we're now going to plant up our, or pop in our seeds, sorry. You can't see him, but I've got my little furry friend around me at the moment, sniffing, looking for a biscuit. Right, so this is called a dibber. You can use a pencil, you know, anything, you know, piece of bamboo. And all you're going to do is make a small hole, about 2-inch deep hole, around the base of your sweet corn plant. I'm going to actually put 4 around here. You know, again, this is what I do. People might say that's too many. They might not say. They might say it's not enough. And then I'm going to pop my seeds in. Take my gloves off. I find it very awkward with gloves on. We're going to put beans around these first few. So literally pop in your bean into the hole. Simple as that. And then all you're doing is you're covering it over. And then once I give it all a good washing this evening, hopefully they will germinate in the next few days. And I will do another one over here. Again, just put your dibber in, make a nice hole, just put your seeds in, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, cover it over. And that's as simple. So there you go. Pretty simple. It does need a little bit of looking after, and again, you know, you need to feed your corn, your courgettes, with some good fertiliser once a week, and then as the corn grows, I will update you on another video, because when it comes to pollinating the sweet corn, there is a bit of a knack to it, especially if you're growing inside undercover like a polytunnel or a greenhouse, because they are wind pollinated, and you might not get enough wind coming through, but I will show you that in another video as hopefully they grow taller. Thanks once again for watching. I am this weekend going to be putting up a support trellis to grow the cucumbers, which I know I did say we would get in. Again, they're late. I'm going to put the trellis up, and we're going to plant squash and cucumbers. So please, once again, if you have any questions, please just, you know, go to my blog, which is gardenofyvonne.wordpress.com, and if you want to find out how to grow those cucumbers and squashes, then please tune in again soon. Thank you for watching. I hope that you're having a good day and enjoy your gardening.